What is up, my Ramelia? Fans of the Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams, I bring to you news, and also I bring to you, surprising if you watch my show and you've seen my videos, Skowronek has been on my S list for a long time, but as he's been used as fullback by McVay, a genius move. He's gotten props by me, and I'm glad that he was able to find a niche. McVay was able to find a niche for him to help us out. Now check this out. He blocks J.J. Watt and gets him to the ground, gets up and catches the ball. Check this out. Let's get into it.
He should track that thing down.
2nd and 9. Stafford. Late pressure comes. Dumps it to Skowronek. Skowronek down at the 30-yard line. Brings up 3rd down.
Here's another item. The offensive line, the makeshift Rams offensive line, is beginning to play and find its playoff form. Amazing. And here it is. The greatest concern from the LA Rams has been entering the 2022 NFL season was the status of the team's offensive line. It made sense as the group would be starting 2 new players right out of the gates. Joe Noteboom would be taking over as the LA Rams left tackle, filling the void of now retired Andrew Whitworth, and additionally Coleman Shelton would be taking over at right guard for filling the void by Austin Corbett. So this has been a less than optimal time for the Rams offensive line. The team was compelled to put the group together, let them work through bugs and rust, and put them into a position to excel later in the season, it says. The only thing is the offensive line has not had the same 5 starters in any given week. The losses the entire continuity thing right out the window. So that tosses the entire continuity thing out the window. We've been patiently waiting, placing a flashlight on the performance of the LA Rams offensive line, and I've used the year-to-date statistics provided by Pro Football Focus as their source data to achieve week-to-week stats. So check this out. Week 1 during the Bills. Joe Noteboom, 67 snaps, 0 penalties, 3 sacks allowed. Edwards, 67 snaps, 1 penalty, 2 sacks allowed. Brian Allen, 67 snaps, 0 penalties, 1 sack allowed. Coleman Shelton, 67 snaps, 0 penalties, 0 sacks. Rob Havenstein, 67 snaps, 0 penalties, 1 sack allowed. And then there's the stats for Matthew Stafford, 7 sacks they got on him that game in the loss, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Week 2, there it is, Noteboom, 67 snaps, 0 penalties, 0 sacks allowed. Edwards, 62 snaps, 0 penalties, 0 snacks. Coleman Shelton, 62 snaps, 1 penalty, 0 snacks. Tremaine Ankrum, 2 snaps, 0 penalties, 0 snacks allowed. Alaric Jackson, 60 snaps, 1 penalty, 0 sacks allowed. Havenstein, 62 snaps, 1 penalty, 0 sacks allowed. Here's the stats. Matthew Stafford was sacked 1 time and in the win versus the Falcons. And then here's against the Cardinals. Joe Noteboom, 48 snaps, 1 penalty, 0 sacks. David Edwards, 48 snaps, 0 penalties, 48 snaps, 0 penalties, 0 sacks allowed. Coleman Shelton, 48 snaps, 2 penalties, 0 sacks allowed. Alaric Jackson, 48 snaps, 1 penalty, 0 sacks allowed. Rob Havenstein, 44 snaps, 0 penalties, 1 sack allowed. Bobby Evans came in for Havenstein on the left tackle, did great while he was injured for a while, and then he came back in. 4 snaps, 0 penalties, 0 sacks allowed. And then there's the stats for Matthew Stafford, 1 sack and all that. Rams left tackle Rob Havenstein left the game for several plays due to injury concerns, but returned to finish the game. Well, that is a good thing. We should point out that often besieged backup offensive lineman Bobby Evans, like I alluded to, played solid when he slid in for offensive line to cover Havenstein. So guys, offensive line's coming around with all this fire and all the injuries. And there it is right there. Jordan Rodriguez says Havenstein ankle's okay, as noted as he returned the game. And then we have an injury report. Darren Kendrick, the promising cornerback who played great last week, has a concussion, but he's in concussion protocol. He may be available for the 49er game as it's 49er week. So there it is. Darren Kendrick is still in concussion protocol, but McVay indicates he's cautiously optimistic about his progress. So there we go. And the Rams will be getting starting offensive center Brian Allen back soon. And with a sudden amount of experience earned by Alaric Jackson, I am confident that the experience has made the Rams offensive line better and deeper for it. So there we go. The Rams continue to have a tough season ahead of them, but the team jumping out to a 2-1 start is a good step in the right direction, particularly in the number of injuries we suffered so far. The true test will be how well the team and offensive line play over the course of the season. And of course, also here's this. Our guy Kupp, Super Kupp, the 3 Triple Crown winner. Kupp's dominance, and it knows no bounds, as he continues to set NFL records. Wide receiver leads the league in receiving yards, catches since 2019. Amazing. So they go on to talk about his career so far. 2022 NFL season has gotten off to a slow start for the Rams. LA was pummeled by the Bills. The Rams haven't looked great all around, but the one constant has been Cooper Kupp's production. In Week 3 against the Cardinals, Kupp became the first wide receiver in the NFL history to have at least 75 receiving yards in 16 consecutive games. Amazing. With at least 17 receiving yards, Field Yates tweets, Cooper Kupp can become the first NFL player in history, which he did get it, with 75 plus receiving yards in 16 straight games. More impressively, Kupp has at least 90 yards receiving in all 15 games of his current streak. A machine he is. Amazing. And this almost feels like a record should have been shattered years ago, considering all the mega talent and prolific wide receivers we've seen in the NFL just this century. Even excluding all the great wide receivers from the beginning of 2000, you'd think someone would have averaged at least 75 yards over 16 games, but nope. Kupp could become the first to accomplish that feat this week against the Cardinals, and he did. And then how does Kupp stack against the competition? There's no competition. Kupp's the best wide receiver in the NFL. Kupp's been dominant force over the past few years and still doesn't get the respect he's earned. Amen. Can you hear me, Madden programmers? Since 2019, Kupp has led the league in receiving yards, 4,318 yards, and receptions, 355. He's third in receiving per yards, 86.4, and fourth in touchdown catches with 32. And Kupp also has a Super Bowl MVP award to his name. Amazing. Only Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, and Tyreek Hill have more TDs than Kupp since 2019. Before this, you could argue that those three were catching passes from already 3 of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. That accolade is already cemented for the guys throwing passes to Adams, Rodgers before 2022, and Evans. For Kupp, it's been either Golf or Matthew Stafford getting him the ball in the City of Angels. And so there you go. And then just goes on to talk about Matthew Stafford and Golf and the difference between Stafford and Golf. Stafford's above average quarterback, and Stafford is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. But amazing. Here's more information. This is just some quick information. So Sean McVay expects Van Jefferson to be a short-term IR candidate. He's on the IR. We'll get him back by week 8. That'll be great. Battered Rams secondary steps up to help muzzle the Cardinals. Amazing, they only gave up 9 points. The Rams moved up in the power rankings past the Bills. That doesn't matter to us. We have bigger fish to fry, but that's just funny to me after the first game. And then here's an amazing thing here. Ian Hartitz, week 3 sheesh report. Waller dropped 2 TD passes. Kupp, Kelsey, Lamb, A-Rob dropped TD passes. McKenzie, Kamara, Landry, Osborne, TD with better ball. It sure looks like T. Higgins and even Ingram scored. Cam Akers goal line fumble. Jimmy G went full. Orlovsky. And then this is what I was talking about here. So week 4 rankings, Ram move up 1 spot, jump ahead of the Bills. Amazing, the Super Bowl champion Bills after 2 games are coming back to the pack after 1 loss, but amazing. And so there we go. So I hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. This is Niners week. I'm going to have some videos. I'm working on them now. I'll have some live streams soon. I'll have collaborations with 49er YouTubers. And as we always say, may the Vermilion be with you. And Ramulators, mount up.